The DJI Neo was released last September. I bought mine at launch and this week it's 6 months old. And so this is my long-ish term review of this drone. The Neo is the smallest and cheapest drone that DJI currently offers. It's small enough to carry in a coat pocket or a small bag, and it's cheap enough to reduce some of the anxiety that might come with performing more risky maneuvers. The low price also makes it a more affordable way to dip your toes in the drone hobby and see if it's for you. It has a single-axis gimbal, which has its pros and cons. The con being that in windy conditions the footage isn't as stable as on a 3-axis gimbal, and the pro being the simplicity of having fewer moving parts and less to go wrong in a crash. The body is all one piece. Well, it's technically multiple pieces stuck together, but it acts as a single piece frame. It doesn't fold, which makes it a lot more durable. I've been flying it for the past 6 months, and I've crashed it probably 10 or 15 times. Most of those crashes have been when flying FPV with goggles, and I had one crash that finally did some actual damage. I don't think this part would have broken off if it weren't 15 degrees below freezing that day. I think the extreme temperature made the plastic a bit more brittle. Luckily, a few weeks later when the snow melted, I found that larger piece and filled in the remainder with some resin, and all is well. I mentioned earlier that the gimbal only having one axis makes it a lot less fragile, and after multiple head-on collisions with trees and the ground, that's proven to be quite true. Video quality isn't the Neo's greatest strength, so if you plan to mostly use it for aerial shots with the remote, you might want to consider something like the Mini 4K, which is a bit cheaper and will get you nicer video footage. But there are loads of things that the Neo can do that the Mini 4K can't, like fly FPV with goggles and all of the fully autonomous stuff that I'll get into in a minute. Even though the video quality isn't as good as DJI's higher end, more expensive drones, I've still been able to get lots of nice looking shots that I was really happy with. The dynamic range is good even in some challenging lighting, like when the sun is low in the sky. It does a good job of exposing people and their faces well, and balancing the exposure of the rest of the scene. I like the color science. That's something the Neo does surprisingly well given its price. Colors are nice and natural, and skin tones look great, not overly red or anything like that. A really big feature is that it can fly entirely by itself, and this, in my opinion, is one of the two best features of the Neo. The mode I use most is the follow mode. When it was first released, the top speed in follow mode wasn't quite enough to follow me even on just a casual bike ride, but that's been updated now, and in my tests it seems to manage speeds up to about 30 kilometers an hour quite well. In this clip I went a bit faster than 30 and the Neo started to fall behind, but it caught up quickly as soon as I slowed down a bit. So for the kind of bike rides I do, the Neo now does a fine job of tracking me, even through wooded areas where there's a lot of obstacles, and it keeps up with my speed well too. It has a bunch of other autonomous modes that can add some interest to your hiking videos or your vlogs.
Circle, rocket, spotlight, direction track, follow, droney.
And it's just a matter of a few button presses, letting it do its thing and popping it back in your bag and going on your way. Having such a small, flying camera that can film you on your adventures without needing a remote really changes things for a one-person content creator like me. There are lots of shots that I just couldn't get on my own without something like this. This is a feature that I came to late in my Neo journey, and it really revived my excitement for this drone. Adding some goggles and an FPV controller lets you fly as if you're right there in the cockpit or like you're Superman. I have a tiny bit of experience flying FPV in the past, and it was analog, and to be frank, the video quality was so bad and the flight times were so short that I lost interest really quickly. Flying FPV with the Neo has been a completely different experience for me. The digital live video feed is so much better. It's crystal clear. The range is in the order of kilometers, not meters, and it's the closest I can get to experiencing what it would be like to be able to fly. Flying it with the motion controller made for a really easy and safe way to start out, and then switching to the FPV controller gave me a lot more control and speed. There are some good safety features that I really appreciate, like the brake and the optional limits on the pitch and roll, which keep me from going too far out of my comfort zone and flipping upside down and crashing. Flying it like this is my new favourite thing to do with the Neo, and I look forward to the weather improving so I can do it a lot more. When you aren't using the autonomous features or flying FPV, you can pair it to an RCN3 or RC2 and fly it like an ordinary drone. It has the 04 transmission tech, so the video link is really solid and the range is several kilometers. I've been able to get some nice shots using it this way. The only thing to be mindful of is wind. If there's too much wind, the single-axis gimbal and electronic stabilization can struggle to keep a steady shot. On camera days, they work perfectly and you wouldn't be able to tell them from a 3-axis gimbal. It would be nice to be able to set a global sharpness level and leave it there for all modes and all types of flying. I find the default sharpness to be a bit high sometimes. Maybe they could add that in a future firmware update. The main thing I think could be improved is the direction track mode. That's where it flies backwards while tracking you from the front. It works fairly well when I'm just walking, but if I try to jog or ride a bike, it struggles quite a bit. It tends to swing out to one side or the other rather than stay in front, and it can get a bit unpredictable sometimes. So that's something I'd love to see them improve over the next few updates. The battery life is great. I have a few different pocketable selfie drones, and the Neo has the longest flight times of any of them. Even 6 months later, I'm still getting 14 minutes in follow mode and 15 when hovering. When flying FPV, I get about 8 to 10 minutes, depending on how hard I'm flying. And again, that's when it's below freezing outside, so maybe in warmer weather, those flight times will be even longer. So that's been my experience after 6 months of flying the Neo, and what I think is one of the most, or maybe the most, versatile drone out there at the moment, just because of how many different ways it can be flown. I think it's a clever move for DJI from a business perspective. If someone just buys the basic drone itself, it's an affordable way into that world, and then before long they might start to look into what else they can do with the Neo, and they'll maybe add a better remote, and later they might want to get into FPV, and the Neo can do all of that. And eventually when they start to outgrow the video quality and want to get more professional looking shots, they might upgrade to the Mini 4 Pro or a more affordable option, the Flip, which I'll be reviewing next. If you found this useful or interesting, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and maybe consider subscribing if you like this kind of stuff. I have a lot of new drone and action camera content coming out this month. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.